Hi, so I just joined SlapStik Entertainment, so I'm so excited to interview you.
Yes, I'm excited to do the interview again.
So my first question is, how long have you been doing comedy, and have you always wanted to be a comedian?
So I have actually been doing stand-up comedy since 2021, so not that long.
Hmm.
Um, but I have been a student of comedy forever, it feels like. So I've always watched Mel Brooks films. I've always watched stand-up comedy. I always like to laugh. So I've always been a student. Um, just learning all my life. And then, your family is funny, at family functions, you always
Yeah.
have that family comedian. And we always have, in my family, there's a cynicism or a sarcasm that's always, in our bloodline on both sides, my mom and dad's side. So it's like, yeah. And now that I'm learning myself, I I didn't know, but I guess I've always wanted to be an entertainer. You know what I mean? I knew that, but I didn't know I knew that, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Even like I like to make people laugh, so I don't know, maybe I'll do it down the line, who knows? But
I
I
mean,
have
you could write, definitely, of course. You could write for sure, comedy
I
and
have
making people laugh.
family too that just always making me laugh. Like they've got jokes. I was like, you guys can make your own show because
I'm telling you, they got jokes for days and they're really like real life situations or just a story that happened. You're like, that is crazy. Why did that happen? But the way they tell you the story, the storytellers, they add like noise and animation and all of that. That's the best part for me.
they add like funny expressions.
Oh
I'm always just
yeah.
like dying laughing, like all the time.
Yeah. Or they describe in detail like a specific point of the story or like they could describe, and I kid you not, my son will describe somebody farting and it'd be like it's not that funny, but the way he describes it, the sounds, the noises, it's hilarious. I mean, it just is. So
It is, yeah. Is there anyone in particular in your family that's just like makes you laugh a lot?
um, that's everybody in my family because that I've learned now that we are all dysfunctional as hell. So it's like, so it's like, no, seriously, like when you self discover and then you have a different set of glasses on as you look at the world, you understand then, like, oh, we all fucked up. We are pretty much all fucked up, but it's different levels of it. And if you are self aware of your fucked upness, then you know how to function with it. But in my family, I feel like my grandma makes me laugh and it's not on purpose. Like it's just her dysfunctionalities that is like, what are you talking about? Because she'll say something like, we'll sit there and watch TV and she's like, do you know who that is on the screen? Well, no, grandma. Who is it? Well, I don't know. I was thinking you was gonna tell me. Well, you know what I mean? Like it's stuff like that. Um, but for me, I hear because my dad passed away when I was 9. I hear a lot that I have my dad's humor. So, and my mom is a hilarious storyteller, but her stories go into 20, 30 minutes and she tells you all these details you didn't need to know. And so I get a lot of funny from her too. So yeah.
I get my dad's humor too, because I remember when my mom was afraid of getting the COVID vaccines when like COVID was first starting out,
Hmm.
and she was like really scared. And then my dad's like, "Oh, don't worry. Make sure when you sign the contract that you tell us where all your jewelry is." And I was like, "Dad, there's no way you said that."
Funny because like your mom is taking it really seriously and everything, and it's not funny to me. It's not, but sometimes that's what makes it even more funnier because you just being a little too serious. You know what I mean? Just a little too serious.
No, but my dad and me always cracking jokes. My mom gets like super annoyed. So
That's how it is. It's funny because my grandpa actually on my mom's side, he did that a lot. He would make jokes and then my grandma wouldn't laugh at him. And because she doesn't know how to tell a joke, she just knows how to be mean, I guess. So this one time, we were It was Thanksgiving. I was helping cooking, and my grandpa helped me peel this onion real quick. And my grandma comes in, just starts talking shit to him out of nowhere, like, "Oh, you in here supervising? You don't cook." You know what I mean? And my grandpa just took a couple breaths, and he said, "What did he say?" He said, "The go down into the basement and climb back into the washing machine." And I'm just sitting there like, what does he mean? He is like, every wash every washing machine has a black agitator. And I fucking died. And my grandma just got mad because she really like she understood, but it took a minute for her to get it. And she was just like, "Oh, shut up!" And she just started cussing. And that's what's funny because it's like you started it, and he gave it to you, and now you're mad. So yeah.
All right, my next question is, was there any particular moment in your life that made you want to be a comedian and like think to yourself like, oh, this is what I really want to do for the rest of my life?
Um. Well, I guess I've always had the inkling or the wanting to I guess just be a part of maybe a sketch show or be the writer. Like, okay, I would
Mhm.
always watch SNL and be like,
Oh yeah.
that's not funny. How is this funny? How did they get past the writer's table to make it to the screen? And it came to us and it's still not funny. I mean, 50 people watched this and laughed and they thought it was funny and they put it on TV. No, and I just figured like I'm funnier than that. Um or even just like normal things that happen in my day-to-day life, it's funnier than whatever they're writing on that on SNL lately. I don't know. But it's like people have always told me I'm funny. People have always said like I should do comedy, and then I take notice like when I'm at work, everybody gravitates towards me. Like I really literally can be sitting on my own, and then all of a sudden some people are like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they want me to entertain them, and I'm like, "What do y'all want?" And they're like, "We wanted a good laugh. We just want to come over here and see your face and get some good energy." And I'm like, "That's really dope, but I got work to do." You know? So and then other instances, it's like when I do take time off work, people let me know that they miss me at work. Like there's a void there. So it's like, wow, y'all really pay attention to me. Um, and then maybe in 2020, I think it could have been 2021. My photographer friend Rance Rob put out a just a basic, hey, I'm gonna do headshots for everybody, free headshots. And I'm like, wow, I haven't had headshots done, so let me do them. I went and did them, and he's clicking my pictures, and he's like, well, what are you getting these headshots for? Because it's like, I'm not doing like headshots. Who gets headshots, right? Like a normal person. Um, and he said, no, and I just said, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about diving into comedy. I just don't know how to. And he stopped and he put his camera down and he said, oh, you're gonna go far with that. Just because he's known me since before I had kids, like since I was like 16, 17. So he's like, at work when we worked together, we would always crack up and laugh and bust jokes to each other, to lighten up the day and make it go by faster. And then after he showed me my headshots and he said those words to me, um, a few months later, not even a few months, maybe, well, two was a few. So let me stop. A few months later, he tagged me in Mark Gregory's workshop for comedy and sketch, sketch comedy, improv. And I was like, that's definitively sent to me. Like, look at God putting these pieces together. So I went to the workshop, and then the graduation of his workshop is you get to perform at the Funny Bone Easton. So it's like, your very first introduction to comedy, you get to be on a big stage. So I took that workshop, and it's been taking flight since then, since 2021. Is people are embracing me, people are seeking me out, and people are giving tons of words of encouragement because they're like, "Man, you're funny. Just keep working and writing and getting the practice." And yeah, see, I feel like now uh, I feel like maybe I can make a day-to-day living off comedy. I didn't think it was possible fully, but now that I see it's a lot of hustle, it's a lot of work that you have to put into it, and you really have to be networking and doing a lot of work. And I'm not. While it seems like I'm a social butterfly, I'm really not. Like crowds of people bother me. I get anxious just driving in traffic anymore is too much. Like I was happy when we shut down for COVID and everybody was in their houses. I'm fine with that. Um, so that being said, I'm just trying to find a good balance between working hard and networking, if that makes sense. So I
That's really
don't
good.
drain my social battery because it can get drained quickly. So
No, I definitely relate to that as like a fellow introvert. So
yeah, like I'm an intro ex like I love people, but I really love my time to myself and quiet.
just peace, like especially
Yeah,
when there's like kids running around or like family comes over and you're like,
all of
why is
that.
everybody in my room?
That part. Why is everybody crowding my space? Yeah, I completely get it.
So, was there anyone who inspired you to go into the comedic field? Like, did you happen to go to a comedy show or like watch shorts on YouTube?
Um, not a I've watched comedy forever. Um, the most, I guess, inspirational comedians, and I guess my point too for me diving into comedy is like I'm tired of the males taking the spotlight. I'm tired of them taking the subject matter and running with it. I'm tired of their narrative. There's only so many fucking dick jokes we gonna listen to. That being said, I'm also tired of females that only talk about their own pussies, like not their own, but pussy, like and sex, and just let's just talk about everyday normal things. Because like sex is already everywhere. The the narrative of women versus men, Mars versus Venus, it's already out there, it's everywhere. Let's talk about normal stuff like not even race even. Like let's move past the things that are already low-hanging fruits and move past it and let's find other things that are hilarious. Like my mom, I didn't know my mom didn't wear underwear to bed until she slept in my bed with me and our butts touched and I didn't know. No, you can laugh. You can laugh. It's okay. That's the point.
No, I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah. And it's like those things. Let's talk about the deep personal things that are funny, that are awkward, because that's what makes us all human. Like we have to remove these big giant pillars of like untouchableness that we develop. Like I'm a celebrity, so this is my persona. And really, at the end of the day, if you break everything down, everything is aesthetics and crap. So you can put pretty paint and pretty things on things and it still be shit. So I just need everybody to be real. That's it. Just be real. Like understand that when people fart, it stinks. Everybody. Everybody. So
No, I like that type of thinking because usually when I see like a lot of specials, there's so much like gender stuff or I hate my wife stuff or just
yeah,
like race. And I was like, there's so many everyday funny things or tragedies of life that is like you just have to talk about it. Like when life like really throws you a curveball, it's just funny to make like jokes about it
it
all the
really is.
time.
And it's so like every woman is a badass. We're all rock stars. I get that. And we're hard as hell. All women, right? But there's those 1 or 2 weeks in the month that you the most vulnerable and you just cry at the drop of a hat for no fucking reason. No fucking reason at all. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we could talk about the period, the symptoms of the period and the behavior, but we don't have to talk about the bloody clots and everything like they do on stage. And it's like, well, that's nasty, and you're just doing it for shock. you know. Instead, like, tell me about when you're in your vulnerable state for a week or two and you just see something like um it's raining outside and you're just like, why does the world have to be sad? And you start crying for no fucking reason. Like, and so that actually happened. And I got in my car and I turned on the radio, and the radio had a song on like, all I do is cry. And I'm sitting there like, oh, you cry, oh my God. And it's horrible, but that's your real feeling. And you have no reason. You don't even know why you're crying. You're just like, I don't know. I'm crying and I know I'm not upset about anything. He just really wanted to pass, but it's just that's nature and that's what it is. And but that's funny because honestly, every woman goes through that. But I think your question was like, who inspired me?
Oh yeah, we went so off track.
I'm so sorry. So inspiring comedians, at least in the world when I grew up, it was Whoopi Goldberg. Um,
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
I just remember seeing her in Jump Jack Flash. I think it's that one when she was a burglar, and then just seeing her in different mediums of comedy, and then when she was on HBO's Comic Relief with Billy Crystal and Robin Williams, and I'm like, this black woman with these locks in her hair are standing next to two white guys, and giving, she's delivering comedy, and then that just developed into everyone else. Adele Givens, and I'm giving big names because that's what I've paid attention to. Um, Adele Givens. I'm not a fan of everybody, but they all have their contributing factors to comedy. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I think just seeing those black women and women growing up just just inspired me to be like, I can do whatever the men can do as well. So, and I cannot stand when males or people in comedy are like, women are not funny. And it's like,
Oh.
have you heard your own jokes, sir? So like, it's relative. Comedy is relative and relatable. If you can relate to people, you can make them laugh. Bottom line.
Going back to the period thing, I was actually relating to that because it was Father's Day and my family forced me to do a speech. I'm like,
See?
no, this is embarrassing. Like, I don't know how to deal with everybody. There's kids running around. Please leave me alone. And they made me do it in front of everybody. And then I got emotional. I'm like, why do I want to cry? I'm
See?
like, what?
You see? That's what I'm saying. You're like, I know I'm stronger than this and I know I could do it, but why am I crying right? Why am I breaking down like this? Because you a woman. Because you got your period. Yeah. You got them specific hormones that
Yeah,
men
no.
really wish they had, honestly, I think. But whatever.
I feel like they're always on their man period like every day. Like they don't even need a period. It's just anger every day.
So I have a theory that men have a period, but they get constipated. They just get constipated instead. I don't know if it happens once a month or every other month, but I feel like they get in a constipated state and they get a little angry, or a little depressed, either way. But I feel like that happens to them too, um, because it doesn't make sense that God made us all on the earth and He only made the woman to have emotions and bleed. That don't make sense. He's only allowed to give up a rib and walk around and be muscular and in charge. I don't think so. I just don't think so. That's
And
just
it's not fair. If every week we have it like every month and I can't go to the gym, like that's not fair.
man, that's the hardest part because I'll be on a great cycle of working out and stuff, and then that period to come, and you'd be
Yeah.
like, I
You
don't want to do
you
anything, and you got to start that whole working out cycle again. So I get it.
it pushes me back and I'm just like openly wishing for death to just come take me while I'm just laying in my bed. I can't, my entire second half is numb.
And then imagine you. you go to sleep and stuff, and you don't know, and you wake up and there looks like a bloody murder, and then you gotta clean your own self up while in pain, while looking at the stuff your body that put you in pain made. You gotta it's They just don't know. Men don't have period panties. They don't.
They don't.
They just got that streak in the back of their drawers and they don't know how. Oh, that's funny.
I could go on a rant, yeah. So you've been doing comedy since 2021. There are probably like more milestones and dreams you want to achieve. So could you tell me about like your personal goals or dreams you want to achieve in your career, like going forward?
Okay. Um, One goal, and I don't know how plausible it is in the next maybe 5 years. I do want to do comedy full time. I'm tired of clocking in. I'm tired of looking at my computer and adjusting tax forms every day of my life. I'm ready to, but I don't want to quit because I love the benefits of my wonderful job. So, um, another milestone for me or goal is I at least want to have 30 minutes of, and this is just a personal goal for me, 30 minutes of tight comedy, a tight 30-minute set where it flows and ebbs, and like I want to have a comedy special set under my belt. Not saying that I have to film a comedy special or anything like that, but I want a genuine good 30 minutes so I could pull out wherever, whenever. And that's what I'm working on right now. Right now, I think I have a good solid 10 um, that I do, but I want to develop that into 30 and hopefully that 30 into an hour because eventually I do want to film a special and, hopefully get it on Netflix or Tubi. But I feel like Netflix gives everybody a special, so I'm shooting for them. I mean, why not? I see all these specials. I'm like, who is that comedian? I don't even know that person. But um, and then eventually putting on my own shows with females. That's the theme. We rocking it hard. I'm going with females because that's what I am. So and it's not to negate from the males or anything. It's just like y'all have had y'all's time and y'all already dominate well enough. So let us bitches shine. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you always want to help and uplift us and help us with the other shit. So just stay out the way for this and let us shine. Um, Another goal, just to travel. My ultimate goal with comedy is to travel, um, tell jokes, meet new people, and eat good. That's it. Like
Yeah, those are
trying new restaurants, trying different foods, going traveling. I have a wanderlust for the world. Like I've been sitting here raising these kids for whoo, 20, what? My son will be 21 in August. I'm over it. But I still got my daughter's in her senior year, so I'm ramping it up and I'm ready to travel.
those are great milestones, honestly. I hope you get that special and I hope you get to travel and meet new people
Thank
because
you.
that's something I love to do too. Like I just came from the Caribbean. Oh, I love all the new people you meet and like I just hate sitting in the house as a college student.
Mhm.
So like I just love to like experience everything and all these new things. It's just so much more fun.
And it's crazy because I actually get anxiety when I have to be here in my hometown and go places. I get
Mhm.
anxiety. I'm like, oh, these people, I don't know if they'll like me. I don't know if they'll like the stuff I have on, or I get all that anxiety. But when I travel, I don't give a shit because I don't know those
Mhm.
people until I know them. You know what I mean? Yeah, traveling. I have not been to the Caribbean yet, but that's a check mark on my list too because it's I just like you said, it's hard just sitting here knowing that the whole world is out there, man.
So my next question is, so where was your first show and what was it like to do your first show, like for the first time?
Okay. So Part of the workshop with Mark Gregory was the graduation ceremony is you performing at the Funny Bone, which is a big stage if you're a first time comedian because a lot of new comedians, excuse me, really have to fight to get to the Funny Bone. So it was the Funny Bone, and I want to say it was September of 2021. I can't remember the date exactly. I'm pretty sure I got it in my memorabilia somewhere. Um, that experience was like that let me know. Look, I'm about to cry right now because that experience let me know like this is my calling. Um, so when I announced it online that I was going to be at the Funny Bone, um, I showed up to the Funny Bone that day, and I'm only like getting emotional because it's it's like I didn't know people really loved me like that. Um, I got there and I don't think I was the first person to go on. I can't remember. I think I was one of the two first people to go on. But when he said, "Who are y'all here to see?" and there were like four, five, 8 to 9 people on that ticket. When he said, "Who are y'all here to see?" and the whole entire crowd said Freddie Simone, that right there, like I can't believe I'm crying like this. Um,
Oh, that's
so I
okay.
saw no, no, no. You're good. It's just I don't know why I'm processing this like this right now, but I saw people from high school, from my first job, from my second job. Like I saw people from all walks of my life show up for me. And that was really dope. That's all. I'm done.
Well, that I mean, when you look back in the memory and your dreams are kind of just coming in front of you in your eyes, and then you
Yeah.
have those support from the family and friends, like
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
And it's like, wow, y'all all showed up for me. And that's really dope. Like my whole family was there. My uncle, my aunts, my brother, everybody. It was like graduation all over again, but it was a completely different type of graduation. It's not high school, you know what I mean? It's not even my college graduation. It was like I've graduated into this commitment of comedy and I'm actually good at it and people love me. Oh shit. I could do something with this and it's plausible and I keep inspiring myself, I guess, every day cuz I'm still amazed like you're doing it? You really doing it though? Like you really doing it? I guess I am and I really what I have to do is embrace it and walk in the path that I'm meant to because I still am in disbelief. Like, I'm really doing this though. Like, I'm really doing it. And it's just I'm still amazing myself. So that's why I'm emotional right now. Plus, I just got off my period, so I shouldn't be this emotional.
I was about to ask actually.
It shouldn't be this emotional, but yeah.
That's the best feeling, honestly. I think that's when you know your life is changing and going in the direction that you want it to go. So,
Yeah. And plus it's when you when you do comedy or when you're in front of anybody and you're giving your raw feelings, you're very vulnerable.
mhm.
And it's people are like, "Man, you are brave." And I'm like, "Well, I don't see it as being brave. I see it as I'm taking one step forward. If this is what I want to do, which is comedy, I can't sit in my room and not perform. I can't sit in my room and not write jokes. I cannot sit in my room and not interact with people because that's what brings the comedy gods to you to talk to you. You know what I mean? So if people are like they're they're amazed, they're happy for me, and they're so proud of me. And that right there is just dope. Like I'll take it all. I'll take it all.
How do you feel now being like a stand-up comedian? Do you think it's impacted your life in a great way?
So at work, man, I just tried to like put my name out there, like on a bulletin board, like, "Hey, it's Freddie Simone." Because at work, my legal name is not Freddie. It's my stand-up name.
Oh.
So, um, yeah, my legal name is Lee Shell.
Oh.
So, right. But if I was to go on stage and be like, introducing Lee Shell, they're like, Mushell, Rushell, Sushell, who? So, you have to, and that's the other thing too. Like I did think about my comedy career, but I didn't. Like that name, Freddie Simone. Simone is my middle name. Freddie, and I'll explain it later in stand up. Freddie just means a friend. Um, a long while ago, me and my friends, we were out, and by the end of the night, we were screaming each other, Freddie, Freddie, hey Freddie. So it's like you're calling out to your friend. You know what I mean? So when you hear Freddie Simone, just know you have a friend. You know what I mean? I'm not out here to hurt you. I'm gonna tell some jokes and I'm gonna tell some real shit about you, and you're gonna be mad, but you're gonna laugh at it too. But it's the truth. I'm not gonna embellish anything. I mean, I'll embellish it for joke reasons, but I'm not going to make up anything, and I'm not going to try to purposely make you feel bad. But what I want like my friends to do is know that you can come and talk to me, you can vent to me. Uh I'm not I give advice. That's the thing. Like people love me and I talk to them and everything. And I'm like, man, you should be a mentor. And I'm like, I don't want that. Like I don't want to be anybody's mentor. But just I think I give rational ideas. Um, so people embrace me that way. It's impacted me because it's a lot of self growth. That's where I was getting to with the vulnerability. My bad. It's a lot of self growth and self development because I'm discovering more and more about myself. Like I'm discovering that certain things don't fit me anymore. Certain situations, maybe certain friendships, whatever, that doesn't fit me anymore or fit my purpose. And it helps me move with intention now. Because it's like, well, now, why are you going to that event? Is it comedy wise? Is it for networking? Are you making money when you're going? Or are you just going for leisure and there's no purpose? And I don't go places too many places with no purpose anymore. Um, so for me, comedy is is a self discovery journey. I know now that I have boundaries with my family and my friends now. Um, and also too, they always think I'm joking. Like I'm not always joking. When I say something and I'm real serious, they're like, "You so funny." I'm like, I was serious. Like, wasn't nobody playing. So, and also too, once I've announced I'm a comedian, like now people at work are like in a meeting, like a Teams meeting today, they were like, "Yeah, Michelle's just gonna tell us some jokes," and I'm like,
Oh my god.
"No, I'm not." Like, I'm trying to be professional here at work. So I'm discovering myself, but I'm also discovering more and more about the world. Um, because I was halfway sheltered growing up. Like my mom just parented me correctly, so therefore I was sheltered. So I didn't have all the stuff that typical, I guess, teenagers had when I was growing up. Like I didn't have pairs of Jordans out the ass. I had one pair of Fila for the 8th grade. That's it. It was purple and white, and then they was brown and white because they got so dirty. Um, so for me, it's learning about the world too. That everything, honestly, everything is smoke and mirrors. Every fucking thing out there is smoke and mirrors. Like that background, if I didn't know, I'd be like, oh, she lives in a nice, great place with a fireplace and a nice window. And but when you take all that, the paint and makeup and all these AI things off, you're just looking at some basic ass human beings. And we all breathe, eat, and shit the same. But it's interesting how many people's egos put them on a different level to, you know what I mean? Is
Yeah,
for me,
definitely.
that's just the most interesting thing that I'm finding out with comedy and how it relates to people and myself. Like it's funny. It's just funny. It's ironic and funny. So
It is funny because you see some. celebrities or just people in general who think that they're all bad, and then you see other people who like treat them as gods when everyone's like a regular human being. So
Yeah. And I should treat you this way because why? You make more money, you have more money, or you just have more clout. And that's not it. That's not the human element. Remove all that money and all that other stuff. You're human just like me. So, mm-mm, doesn't fly with
it's
me.
honestly, it's weird how that works. Honestly, like the way that people have like this god complex about like
Yeah,
certain people, and I'm like, they're just human beings. So like, you can see them walking across the street. We're all just people. So
that's it. Like, no matter no matter how much money you have, you still need air to breathe. No matter how much money you have and you want to stuff yourself into a little submarine, you still need air
oh,
from God. So I don't know.
I recently watched your stage when you said what was the club that you were just talking about where you did the
The funny
workshop?
bone.
The Funny Bone. I watched that and I loved the mattress bit a lot.
But you know what? And here's the thing that is so relatable because how many times you hear this out in the dating world like, oh, they act stuck up. Oh, she ain't going to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. But when I do give somebody a chance, you're like, okay, I'm going to give somebody a chance. They serve you up with an air mattress. And you're like, well, how am I supposed to take this serious? Hmm. Hmm. It's just
it,
funny.
it
It's
was funny
hilarious.
when you were mentioning how it deflated. I was just dying.
Because that really, these stories be true. Just to let you know,
I didn't
a
think
lot
it
of
was fake.
these stories are true. Now, I will say, like, sometimes I take my homegirls snippets of their stories and throw them in mine. Something they've told me that they've dealt with, I throw it in mine. And sometimes you will hear them cracking up in the audience, like, "Oh, bitch," because they know I'm talking about them. But yeah, that air mattress Aaron, that was a real guy, and it was an air mattress, definitely.
So by seeing that video, I can tell you're like comfortable on stage. Did it take like a long time to be that way?
Um, I don't know. Because the first time I was up there on the Funny Bone stage, people said I was so comfortable. Like, man, you're a natural. You look comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I felt like I was not grabbing straws so much, but I felt like I was nervous. But when I get nervous for a comedy show, I'm nervous because I want to make sure the people had a good time. I'm not nervous that I'm going to bomb or fail. I'm honestly nervous because part of self development, I'm a people pleaser and I want to make sure everybody is good. Not, I say that with some caution. Just because I'm a people pleaser doesn't mean I'm about to go and please all the people now. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, that being said, it's like I just want to make sure when they're in the crowd, they're enjoying themselves. I don't want them to walk away and be like, I did not enjoy myself. I did not like that comic. I felt belittled or I felt talked about. You know what I mean? I don't want that.
Yeah.
And it's always, I guess, my nature for me. I always like to leave places and people and situations in a better state than when I received them. So I'm not going to mess people up on purpose. I'm not. I just want everybody to be have a good time and love each other. Like I know it sounds real hippie like, but if people just
Mhm.
embrace and love one another, like it's so easy to hate. It's so easy to join on some griping bandwagon to talk shit about another group of people to make yourself feel better. But if you talk about yourself a little more and talk about yourself nicely and other people nicely in a nice manner, like you could change the person's attitude next to you a little bit. And maybe that's what we can do is change everybody's outlook on the world because damn it, the world's already grim. We don't have to wake up ugly and angry every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the world is like already dying. There's already like so many mean people. I was like, you just need to,
Oh,
it needs more love. Like, it definitely needs more love. Like,
it
that's why
needs a
every time
big
I,
ass hug. Yeah, it
that
really
was every
does.
time.
Cause it's funny. Some of my friends are like, "Oh man, you are so nice. You are so nice." Cause I do certain things like I don't know. It'd be like I'll talk to somebody, or even hold a door, or give somebody something that normally they wouldn't get. I don't know, but it's interesting because I'm like, "What do you mean I'm so nice?" When people say that, I'm like, "You say nice as if I'm like being a doofus or something. Like, oh, you're so nice," because I wouldn't do that. But I'm like, well, why are you not nice? That's my question. Why are you not nice? Why are you not nice? I don't get that.
Well, I have a few more questions. I hope this interview is not too long.
Girl, nope. I was going to drive down to Cincinnati today, but I don't need to. It's okay.
So, what's the most memorable part of your career?
Um, the biggest highlight for me so far was last year I went to Hope Flood's Comic Rock Convention, and I was just out coming out of my first year of comedy. So for me, it was like, wow, I get to hang in Atlanta for about a week. It was a week and a half because I stayed longer. My sister's up there too. So it was like I had no kids, I had no dogs to take out, I had no responsibilities, and I could focus on comedy, networking, and meeting everybody. So right now that was the biggest highlight. I got to sit around and really get some really good gems from like Coco Brown. Excuse me. Oh, I forget his name. I forgot his name. Teddy Carpenter. Like these unsung heroes that have worked, I guess the Chitlin circuit is forever and a day, but they've been on the main screens, but they don't get the limelight that like they deserve because, whatever. But I got to meet tons of people. I met Shang. I met oh my goodness, Kente, um, Mario Good, Michael Coyer. I met so many comedians and was able, Schuler King, and was able to take so many gems and information from them. Mark Gregory was there too. And so I think that was a highlight. And yeah. And it's so funny because once I went there and then I came back to my hometown, people were like, "Oh, we gotta pay Freddie more money because she done went down there in Atlanta," and I performed there too in a couple different stages. Which Atlanta crowd is different. That I was nervous because I wasn't sure how people would take me, but I know I have to come hard with you know some jokes. That's all. Um, but yeah, I think that was a highlight because now people are like, it's so funny. I've not said anything and I've not put this out there like, y'all need to pay me more money because I'm worth this. I've not said anything like that. They put this on me. They put me on a pedestal. And I think that's so hilarious because I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm at home just eating peanut butter and jelly and being normal. And y'all over here having me eating caviar and oh, Freddie too good for that. I know you ain't gonna do this and da da da. You already making decisions for me. Good looking. Thank you. So that right there was the highlight of my like so far.
That's awesome, actually. There's like more like expectations, but also at the same time, you got to meet people with like more experience.
Yeah.
So that always like opens up your eyes.
Of course.
So was there a particular show that you love doing that you like always remember because the audience like reacted a certain way?
Um well, my first show because everybody cheered for me. Yay, yay, yay. And it's funny because my first show, they were like, we wanted you to stay up there longer. Because all I had was
Oh,
like 5 minutes, and they were like, "We wanted you to do like 20." I'm like, "I ain't even up there yet. Wait a minute, it's my first time on stage." Um, yeah, the anytime I do the Funny Bone, it's always fun because it's a comedy club. Um, a lot of places they're in bars, so it's not as like comedy driven or comedy centered. Um, I guess I've done Funny Bone, Funny Bone. Yeah, I guess they've all been Funny Bone. I did the comedy stop in Cleveland, but that was just a little get on stage and like, hey, that's about it. But yeah, I guess that first performance, that's the most memorable for me so far.
Oh, well, that's lovely to hear, honestly. I can't wait to like see your growth.
Man, I can't wait either. And your growth too. Like you're gonna go somewhere do okay, it's not my interview, but what do you like writing about?
Oh, what do I like writing about? I'm more of
Hmm.
like a poetry type person, so what I really want to do is like music, but I don't have a musical background. So I was like, I don't know how to get there because comedy and music and the entertainment industry is just like very tough to get into. And like you have to be like this unique person. So it's like I don't know how
See?
to build that.
And so you want to be a songwriter
Yeah,
eventually?
like a performer. I love being on stage actually.
Oh, a
Done
performer too. Okay.
yeah, I've done drama. Like I can secretly sing, but I've done drama and like high
Why is it a
school.
secret?
Because like not many people know.
Oh, okay. 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 Well,
But
that's dope. Just just keep going. Don't stop. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause that's what everybody says to me. Like, just don't stop. Keep putting in the work. Just don't stop.
that's great advice. Because I also really love acting. So I've done drama club in high school. And like the way that you said, like your family and friends were there, like everybody was there, and it was just like the most amazing feeling.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's great when you really feel the support, and then it's real fucked up when you don't feel it. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Um, but yeah, like in high school, I wasn't ready to do drama. Like I have people don't know or whatever. I haven't expressed it, but I have body image issues. I'm a big girl. I've always been big, you know what I mean? But so all my life is like I was never told to really embrace being a big girl. Like, Lizzo, oh, is it big girl? Everybody love big girls. Oh, now that it's 2023 and naps are 4C and big girls are body positivity. But in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, that was not it. Okay.
yeah.
So people think like, oh, she got all the curves and everything. Like I want that attention. I don't know how to deal with that attention. So it's like I used to in high school I wanted so desperately to be in like drama and art, but I was so conscious of my body and my body image.
Mm.
And then also too, when you're that young, you don't really know yourself. So I'm discovering myself now at the age of 41. I'm discovering myself and I'm actually grateful that I'm diving into this career now because I am so more confident of the woman I am now. Because if I did this when I was 20 something, did comedy when I was 20 or 21, it would have broke me already. It would have broke me. Like, because then you go into social media then before social media, you know what I mean? And it's like, ugh. But now I understand um, my place in the world and I understand my purpose and I understand my goals. And so I'm more confident because also too, being fat is not the worst thing you could be in this world. So I'll take that.
It's not, but I'm so glad that maybe everything happened for a reason, so that now like now you're in your 40s and like you are like set in that certain
Yeah.
age and that certain mindset to be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly.
I feel like that now in college because I wasn't very confident in high school and I just didn't have a friend group, so I didn't know about what I really wanted or who I
Yeah.
wanted. So now I'm discovering myself slowly, slowly, and I like all these different versions that are just coming out like every year.
Right. Exactly. And that's what is about so important about learning who you are because that helps your path in life. So before like I had my kids when I was 20, 21, and I dove from being a high school student to, working a little grocery store job or whatever to being a mom. And honestly, in the world of what I knew, I thought that was the correct path. You know what I mean? You go to school, You know, you married a high school sweetheart or whatever, and you got the kids and y'all live together happily forever, whatever. But that ain't it. That there's no American dream. You make it up. So yeah, I'm just
Uh,
happy that I'm older and wiser.
So, what's the best thing about your job, and what is the worst part of your job?
The comedy or my daytime job?
Oh, the comedy.
Oh, comedy. The best part is you get to meet different people of all walks of life. You can actually help people with through laughter. Laughter is one of the best medicines of the world, I believe, next to hugs and friendship. But don't get no hugs from me because I'm not that cool. Um, I think that's one of the best things about comedy because comedy can transcend over different cultures too, just like music. You can tell like a little slapstick joke or something and have everybody laughing. The down part of it is you get to meet people. You get to, you get to meet those people who are out there for just making money or just ready to take advantage of an opportunity. Because a lot of people, promoters and clubs and everything, they'll take you because you can fill up their seats, but they may not pay you what you want to be paid or something like that. I haven't gotten into that yet because I only got 900 followers on Instagram, so I'm still working. But what I've noticed is the bad thing about comedy too is the jealousy and um just the jealousy and competition. And it's like, yo, ain't none of us is Kevin Hart, at least in my city. None of us is Dave Chappelle. We're not making millions out here, and it's silly for you to, punch people down to make yourself feel better. So I think that's the positives and negatives of comedy so much.
Oh wow, I really hate it when people do that because it's like everyone has their own pace and their own amazing individuality, especially in the entertainment industry. Like there's plenty of room for everybody.
Plenty, plenty of room. So, or they throw them under the bus or talk about them like they ain't funny and da da da. And I did say that when I first started out. I said some people were not funny, and then after a minute, I had to take that statement back and change it because that's not a nice statement to say. So, if somebody put their heart and soul on paper and you read it and you like this ain't shit, you just told that person that they're not shit too, in a way.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't say that the comedians aren't funny. They have their own unique humor. They're specific to their humor. It may not be amusing to me, but somebody's going to find it funny. I just try not to say that too. And then too, so it doesn't bring karma back. So somebody be like, that bitch ain't funny. And they talking about me. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Is that the main reason?
Right, right. For real. Like, oh my gosh. I don't. Yeah. So, yeah.
Karma's a little too accurate. See it. I see it swinging like a boomerang the
Yeah.
second something
Like,
happens.
yeah. And I can see that because there's plenty of comedians and some females like, whoo. I will say the celebrities that are not funny. I will say that. I'm not going to talk about local like Amy Schumer. I look, I'm not trying to hate. I'm really not. But it irritated me when I saw Ali Wong pregnant delivering her whole stand up on Netflix. And then after she did it, and that was epic. She was the first of her kind. Ali Wong, I love her. Then a year or two later, Amy Schumer did it. We don't care. Is I don't know. Let me stop talking about that because this is gonna go on social media and I'll be blacklisted or something. So
I hope not. So do you usually crack jokes at like family cookouts or like with your friends?
with my friends, yes. Um, I ain't been to my family reunion since my grandpa passed away. That's a whole nother story to unpack. But now it's like I've always cracked jokes around the family. We've always cracked jokes around each other. But now my jokes are more so they weren't even jokes. They were more like picking at people. Like, why you walking so slow? Is that cause your hip all messed like, picking with people. That's what jokes were. But more so now I'm quiet around everybody now because I'm observing to an extent. And two, I just I'm being more intentional with my words around my family members because I'm going through a process for myself of healing and understanding everybody. So I'm trying not to be too jokey with everybody at this moment. But yeah, I mean, my whole family's cracking jokes. We always got laughs and stuff, especially my mom. She thinks it's freaking me and her is like Laurel and Hardy, like the Three Stooges. She starts in with me, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not in the mood for this though. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, Mom. Then I got to give it back to her, and then I'm like, I wasn't here for this, but whatever.
That kind of brings me to my next question on like, have you ever like roasted someone at a show, or maybe like even like
The only person, like, I swear to goodness, the only person I feel so fully comfortable roasting is my mom and my kids. Like,
you got to do the kids?
because I have to. I have not roasted people on in a show. Well, I roasted this one comedian, but that's only because I typically never followed him. But the one time I headlined and he featured, I got to get in on him on his routine. So I kind of roasted his whole set a little bit because he just too pretty and I don't like that. So um but I here's the thing, I don't feel comfortable roasting strangers because again, I
Mhm.
like to leave people better off than where I left them. Um and also too, I'm still not fully comfortable talking about my weight. So how dare I roast somebody and then they say one little thing about my fatness and then I run off crying. I can't do that. So so I don't do that. Um yeah, I just don't like to do that at all.
That's understandable. Because I see some like comedians go like off, and I was like,
Yeah, and also too sometimes depending on the reason for the roast is low hanging fruit. Like I can see if they're heckling your show, then you get in on them. But if they're there to have a good time and you ran out of your comedian material and you just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna talk about everybody in audience. That ain't cool. And it also too, when you roast them, you don't want to roast them on anything they cannot change immediately. Like you can roast their pants, but don't roast they missing leg. You know what I mean? Like might feel some type of way about his pants, leg, or his leg. You know what I mean?
so what challenges actually have you faced in comedy so far?
um, it's the networking and meeting people. Um, and also, so my challenge is I like to be at home. I still have kids I'm raising. I mean, they're grown almost, but they're not grown, is what I'm saying. They still need guidance and everything like that. So it's interesting that a lot of comedians are like, you need to be out there at the open mics and you want to network and get to know everybody. But I'm like, I need to be at home for my kids, first and foremost, so they know that I'm here. And then two, they know that I'm being a parent still. Um, so the difficult thing for me too is with comedians, they like come hang out. What am I hanging out for? What am I hanging out? Am I buying more drinks? Are we writing jokes together? Are we doing something together collaboratively? Or are we just hanging out so you can know my personality so you can book me on a show? Like it has to make sense. And a lot of the comedians, from what I've heard, is like, yeah, you got to hang out at the open mics and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what I've noticed is hanging out at those open mics and everything is cool and that's fine. And I don't take anything from those people or those comedians. That's their mode. That's how their life is set up. That's fine. We're just booking our friends on the same shows. So one week it'll be me as the headliner with my friends featuring. The next week it's my friend hot headlining and we're all featuring. So it's like you're not, and we're all telling the same exact type of jokes and we're all in the same comedic house. So there's no variety there. So there's no real room to grow and learn outside of the parameters of their comic house. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how they function. That's not how I wish to function in comedy. That's all.
It's definitely really hard to network, like even in just like regular jobs too. It's like
Yeah,
it's so hard to meet people, and then like people are too busy to really respond to your emails, and it's like you're trying to grab at every opportunity you can, but like no one's really responding. So
yeah,
it's really hard to network
definitely.
because you want to meet with all these amazing people and work with them, but then sometimes the opportunities just don't come up. So it can be really frustrating.
It, excuse me, it can be, and that's why I keep the thought of um, what's for me, God will see. He has my path already set out, and if I choose not to do a certain thing, this or the other, it's okay because God already let me know that my decision was all right. That if it was meant for me, it's gonna come to me, regardless if it comes today, if it comes tomorrow, if it comes 10 years from now, it's coming to me. I just have to be patient. Um, and yeah, the other thing is like when you hang out at these open mics real late, all you're doing is meeting drug addicts and alcoholics who have problems in their life that tell jokes about them. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you just, and I'm not saying like specific people, but comedians, as everybody else in the world, we're depressed. We go through emotional things. We have vices and things like that. And some people talk about them. But for me, again, I got to be at work at 6 in the morning, not hanging out at the bar. There's nothing, there's no purpose for me just to have a conversation. I'll say that. And I'll leave it there because I'll be talking too much, I think.
So, my last two questions. Despite the challenges, would there be like anyone, like comedian, where you would steal their comedic career, like if you would want to?
Like right now, if I could switch places with them,
Yes.
uh, I'm going to say, because I love her, Issa Rae is the only person right now I would change places with because she's a beautiful writer. She's a beautiful person. Um, and her development, watching her grow, has been dope to witness. And actually, I didn't even know Insecure was on until my friend gave me HBO Max or whatever. And then I binge watched all the episodes. Um, and also too, she doesn't limit herself to just like the comedy she wants to do. And her comedy is not just it's black comedy, but it's not hood comedy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like black people with sense, I guess. I know that's probably rough to say it like that, but it's like middle class black people, like black people who are professionals and things cuz we do exist. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't work in a trap house and live in the neighborhood that's a ghetto that got crackheads everywhere. That's just because I'm black does not mean that's how I live or how I've grown up. So I appreciate Issa Rae, and I would trade places with her for now, right now. Yeah.
So my last question is, if you were to give any advice for any like upcoming comedians, like what would it be?
Um, do your best. Don't steal my jokes. You better steal somebody else's
Mhm.
jokes. Um, and just if you're really wanting to do it, actually do it, commit, because don't go to open mics and then don't take places on comic bills or comic lineups or lists, and if you're not really ready or really serious about comedy, like some people just want to do it to have the attention and the mic in their hand. Some people want to do it because they may get free drinks or chicken wings. I don't know. But and also too, if you want to be a comedian, what's the point of you being a comedian? What are you saying to the world? Do you have a message? Do you have something other than just those laughs? You know what I mean? Do you have is there energy? Is there a message you want to pursue or get out to the world? Get that message out and let that be your underlining marketing brand, and then support it with comedy. So, yeah.
Yes, that's definitely really good advice because I feel like the real people that make it are the ones that actually put their passion and like their foot forward. Because like
Yeah.
that's it's coming from like a real place.
Yeah, because you can tell when people do it just for money. You
You
can
can tell,
tell, like,
definitely tell.
you can definitely tell in the aura and how they present everything, like, oh, that motherfucker did it just to get a dollar bill. You can feel it. So if I feel like if people are more genuine and really willing to open up and put in the work to really be a comedian, a genuine comedian, just don't stop and keep going
I
and be
definitely feel
genuine.
that energy from you. Like you're just like
Oh,
naturally very funny, but I can tell you really love what you do.
thank you. I appreciate that.
So thank you for working with SlapStik Entertainment. I hope you really enjoyed this interview. It was so lovely to actually get
It
to know you. So
it was lovely. I do appreciate this interview. It was definitely more energy than the last interview, and I appreciate that. I felt like there was more back and forth, so I appreciate that. I have fun. If you have another one, I'll do another interview. If you have more questions, it doesn't matter. I'll still answer those. I do like to talk, even though I am an introvert. But when you get me talking, or I take some edibles, I'll be talking for a minute. So
I just talk and talk when I'm very comfortable, but I just
yeah.
wish this interview could have been in person because you'll see my energy a little more. I'm
Yeah,
like
no,
far
I feel
away
your
in
energy.
person.
You're beautiful. I feel your energy. It's cool.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, is there anything you want to like promote or any upcoming like shows that you're doing?
Um, Hopefully my website is going to be live here soon, freddiesimone.com, so you can look at upcoming events and flyers and things I have going on. I'll be at the Columbus Funny Bone on July 19th with Battle of the Sexes. I forget, hosted by Danger. I don't know if anybody else knows Danger, but Danger's a good guy. I forget who else is on the bill with me, but that's what I have. So, oh, this Friday I'll be at Comfest. Saturday I'll be at in Newark telling jokes, and then Sunday I'll be in Cleveland at Crackpots, not Crockpots, Crackpots. So my friend is having his very first festival, comic
Oh, I see.
festival, and let me find it real quick. Okay. So his festival runs for 2 days. It's Friday and Saturday. On Friday, I'm sorry, Saturday, Homestead Public House. And it's on 2319 Cherry Valley Road. And this is where's my camera? Oh, you probably can't see it. No,
Do you know
it's
what
a
time
blue
it is?
screen. Cool. Yep. So I'll be there Saturday. I'll be at Comfest Friday. Um, No, I don't think I have anything else outside of that. But this has been a great interview. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad. It's been so
Definitely.
lovely, like
You
getting
had
to meet
great
you. So,
questions. Great questions.
yeah, I mean, I wanted to know you and your story. I always have an interest in people, so I'm so glad you had fun in this interview, and I would love to interview you again or see you in person.
Of
So,
course. Of course. I'm always down.